She tried to move, but her body felt strangely heavy, as if bound by invisible chains. Panic began to rise in her chest as memories of the enchanted apple and Ajinwon's evil smile flooded back. As her eyes adjusted to the dim light, she saw Ajinwon standing before her. There lived a young girl named Alake who lived in an old village called Araromi. And Araromi is situated at the edge of an ancient forest. Alake was known for her kindness and beauty. She had a heart as pure as the waters of the nearby river. She spent her days helping her family and gathering herbs in the forest, a place that was both a heaven and a source of mystery. One warm afternoon, as the sun cast golden rays through the dense canopy, Alake ventured deeper into the forest than ever before. She was searching for a rare flower her grandmother needed for a special remedy. The deeper she went, the more enchanting the forest became, with vibrant flowers and singing birds creating a magical symphony. Unknown to Alake, the heart of the forest was home to a powerful witch named Ajinwon. This witch, shunned by the village for her dark arts, had lived in the solitude for many years. Ajinwon was cunning and always on the lookout for ways to extend her life and power. Immediately she sensed Alake's presence, she quickly devised a plan to ensnare the innocent girl. As Alake approached the clearing, she was greeted by a sight that made her gasp. A small enchanting cottage, surrounded by flowers she had never seen. Curious and slightly wary, Alake took a step forward. From the shadows of the doorway, Ajinwon emerged, her eyes gleaming with hidden intents. "Welcome, my dear," Ajinwon called, in a voice as smooth as honey. "You must be very hungry and tired from your journey. Come rest and have something to eat." Alake, feeling a strange mixture of fear and fascination, hesitated. But the scent of freshly baked bread and the sight of ripe, luscious fruits laid on a wooden table was too tempting to resist. She reasoned that a small rest and a bit of food would do no harm. Ajinwon, with a smile that didn't reach her eyes, handed Alake a plate of apples. "These are my special treats," she said. "They will refresh you and give you the energy you need to continue your journey." Alake took a bite, the sweet flavor exploding in her mouth. Instantly, she felt a warmth spread through her body, followed by an overwhelming drowsiness. The wind around her began to blow, and her limbs felt heavy as she tried to raise them. Ajinwon's voice echoed in her ears, now sounding distant and sinister. Before she could comprehend what was happening, Alake fell into a deep, enchanting sleep. The apple had woven the witch's spell into her body. Ajinwon chuckled softly, knowing her plan had succeeded. She lifted the sleeping girl with ease and carried her into the depths of the forest, where no one would think to find her. Alake woke up to find herself in a dark cavern. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and something else she couldn't quite identify. She tried to move, but her body felt strangely heavy, as if bound by invisible chains. Panic began to rise in her chest as memories of the enchanted apple and Ajinwon's evil smile flooded back. As her eyes adjusted to the dim light, she saw Ajinwon standing before her, a triumphant look on her face. "You are awake," the witch said, her voice dripping with satisfaction. "The spell worked perfectly. Now you belong to me." Alake's heart pounded in her chest. "What do you want from me?" she demanded, mustering all the courage she could. Ajinwon's smile widened. "You, my dear, are the key to my eternal youth and power. The purity of your heart and the goodness of your spirit will fuel my magic for decades to come. As long as you are under my spell, I shall remain young and strong." Ha 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 ha. Alake's eyes widened in awe. She had heard tales of witches stealing youth, but had never imagined she would fall victim to such a fate. Desperation surged through her, but she knew she had to remain calm and think of a way to escape. Days turned into weeks, and Alake's life in the cavern became a monotonous cycle of gathering ingredients for Ajiwon's potions and casting minor spells under her supervision. Despite her predicaments, Alake observed everything carefully, learning about the witch's magic and the weakness of her spells. She realized that Ajiwon's power was not absolute. There were moments when the witch had to rest and rejuvenate her strength. One evening, as Alake was preparing a potion under Ajiwon's watchful eyes, she noticed the witch's hands trembling slightly, a sign that her power was weak. An idea began to form in Alake's mind. She remembered the stories her grandma told her about the powers of true names in breaking spells. If she could discover Ajiwon's true name, she might have a chance to free herself. With newfound determination, Alake set her task with renewed sense of purpose. She began to engage Ajiwon in conversations, asking about the witch's past, and subtly steering the topics towards names and origins. Ajiwon, proud of her own cleverness, didn't realize the trap Alake was setting and occasionally let slip bits of information about her early life. One night, as the witch dozed in her chair, Alake found a dusty old book hidden among the potion ingredients. It was Ajiwon's grimoire, a record of her spells and secrets. With trembling hands, Alake opened the book and scanned its pages. Finally, she found what she was looking for, a page detailing the witch's true name, hidden in an old forgotten spell. Armed with this knowledge, Alake waited for the right moment to strike. She knew that breaking the spell would require not only the name, but also a significant burst of magic, something that could disrupt Ajiwon's control over her. She began to secretly gather ingredients for a powerful counterspell while she waited for the right time to strike. Weeks passed and Alake's plan was almost ready. She had gathered the necessary ingredients and carefully prepared the counterspell, hiding it from Ajiwon's praying eyes. The final step was to wait for the moment when Ajiwon's power was at its weakest. One night, during a particular first storm, Ajiwon seemed more drained than usual. The witch slumped in her chair, her eyes heavy with exhaustion. Alake knew this was her chance. She quietly retrieved the ingredients she had eaten and began to chant the words of the counter spell, her voice barely audible over the wind. As she chanted, a strange energy filled the cavern. Ajiwon's eyes snapped open and she realized too late what was happening. "No!" she screamed, lunging towards Alake. But the girl was ready with a final forceful word. She called out Ajiwon's true name, Ojuolakpe. A shockwave of magic erupted from Alake, knocking Ajiwon back. The witch's face contorted with rage and fear as her power began to unravel. "You think you can defeat me?" she hissed, her voice trembling, but the counterspell was too strong and Alake's determination too fierce. The cavern was filled with blinding lights, and when it faded, Ajiwon was gone. The spell that had bounded Alake shattered like glass, and she felt the weight lifting from her body. Trembling with relief, Alake emerged from the cavern into the fresh, rain-soaked air. The storm had passed, leaving the forest glistening under the moonlight. She made her way back to her village, her heart lighter with every step. When Alake finally returned home, she was greeted with tears and embraces. She recounted her tale and the villagers marveled at her bravery and cleverness. Her grandmother, with a knowing smile, hugged her tightly and whispered, "You have a heart of a true hero, Alake." From that day on, the villagers held Alake in even higher regard, and the story of how she outwitted the witch Ajiwon became a cherished legend. Alake herself continued to live a life of kindness and courage, always ready to face whatever challenges come her way. For she had learned that the strength of one's heart and spirit could overcome even the darkest of spells. The moral of this story is that courage, intelligence, and a pure heart can overcome even the darkest of evils. Alake's bravery and quick thinking enabled her to break free from the witch's spell. The tale also highlights the importance of wisdom and perseverance in the face of danger, showing that even the seemingly powerless can triumph over great challenges through determination and cleverness. Thank you for watching another of our video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Also subscribe and turn on your notification bell to get notified when we drop our next story. See you on the next one.